I'm going to go a little slower on this next example. So first thing that I want to do is get this inequality to be, less than 0. So that means that this 1 is going to have to move across. And so in order to do that, I'll need to subtract it across. Oh. So I'll go ahead and subtract 1 across. So everything is on one side. So now I'm working with x minus 2, and then negative 3 and negative 1 make negative 4, is less than 0. Well, I don't need it to be 0 to be on the right. I need it to be on the left. So I'm going to take it and move it over to the left. So here's my 0. But that means that this part of the inequality needs to flip across. So it's going to come to the right. So x minus 2 minus 4 is now going to be to the right of 0. Well, this inequality, which reads less than, also needs to flip. If you flip your equation, you have to flip your inequality sign. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a greater than sign. So we're going to go ahead and go to our calculators and type that in. But instead of equals, I'll hit my delete key, and I'm going to go ahead and choose the greater than sign. Next, I'll go ahead and type in x minus 2, and then outside my parenthesis, I'll say minus 4. And I'll hit enter, and it will graph. So there's my new line, or my new graph. So I'm going to sketch that onto my paper. Just one thing to mention is that this inequality sign means that it's going to be an open line. It doesn't show it on your calculator, but it should be an open line. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's go ahead and graph this. And I'm going to do a dashed line here and make it my V here. And I'm going to shade inside the V like my calculator showed me to do. So there's my graph. Now, if my problem had actually given it to me as a greater than, in this case, a less than or equal to, right there, that means that it would have closed my line. So what that would have looked like is when I had finally solved, and I would get 0 is greater than or equal to, because again, I'm changing this problem for a better example, x minus 2 minus 4. I'll go ahead and graph this. It'll look exactly like it does here, including this solid line. So I'll graph this with a solid line going up because this symbol means a closed dot or a closed line. And then I'll shade everything that's greater than that, just like my calculator shows. So I think that you guys now know how to graph an inequality.